Hello everyone, Mr. Nacho here, and welcome to another Invoker build with the new DLC. As was requested in the previous one, here comes the Lifesteal version. This is basically an AOE Lifesteal farming build. This does insane DPS on single targets as well, so don't worry about that. But where it really shines is whenever there are multiple enemies in a stage, and let's be honest, most of the bosses summon adds during their boss fights, so this will work extremely well. The only two bosses that it doesn't really work against is the Corruptor or the Shahala. For whatever reasons, their hitboxes are weird, doesn't really work too well there, but still can be done. Alright, so let's get right into the setup. We have the Invoker as a prime, and we have the Way of Keula. Way of Keula is great because it, first of all, gives us haste. Second of all, it makes enemies slower, and third of all, it just deals damage, and it's a very high base damage. So whenever the lightning actually hits, we are healed for a ton of HP. The secondary archetype this time would be Ritualist with Deathwish, because Deathwish was increased to 50% all damage. So it's much stronger than anything else really that was here before. 50% is more than, let's say, Archon can give us whenever we want to make a mod build, because this gives us 20% as a base and then 50% here. So it's even more than Archon, more than Handler, more than anything else. It's 70% all damage and it's absolutely insane. It buffs both our skill damage and it buffs our gun damage. It also buffs our mod damage, even melee whenever we throw it every now and then. It's absolutely insane. The drip that I'm wearing is at 49.9 and I wanted to incorporate the new armor. So I have the Disciple headpiece, Disciple mantle, Night Stalker pants and High Noon arm guards. I think that it looks pretty awesome. This is how it looks like in game. When it comes to the weapon, we are yet again using the Monolith because the Sandstorm ability and the Exposed debuff are absolutely insane. Spellweaver proves to be great yet again whenever it comes to Invoker and playing with it because of the skill cooldown buff and the mod generation. The melee is a melee of choice really, but I'm using Krelax with Tainted Blade even though it was nerfed. We have the Ritualist, so we have Affliction, so we still get 20 seconds of Corroded whenever we actually hit something with it, so it's great. Then we have Nebula with Nanoswarm and Feedback this time, so that we can have the mod for Nebula up almost at all times. Then we have one of the new amulets. This is a random drop in low summon, if I'm not mistaken, and it increases skill and mod duration by 30% and increases AoE and aura sizes by 20%. So this, for now, is multiplicative with Amplitude. So Amplitude already increases our aura sizes and AoE by 50%, then on top of that it increases it by further 20% and also increases the duration by 30%, and Gifted also increases our duration by 30%, so we are in a fantastic situation at the moment. We have insane AoE and we have insane duration, and I'd much rather invest in duration than cooldown reduction or mod generation just because it's way more fun. Then we have the Burden of the Destroyer and it increases all damage by 15%, which is great. Then we have Burden of the, again, I can't really pronounce it, but it increases our skill and mod damage by 15%. Then we have the Stone of Malevolence, which increases our mod generation by 15%, which is great. We deal elemental damage with the Sandstorm mod, we deal elemental damage with the Nanoswarm, we deal elemental damage even with the Way of Keula because it deals shock damage whenever the lightning strikes, which is great. And then the last one is the Token of Favor, which increases all damage by 5% just in general, but then again we also get 10% crit chance against exposed targets, and that's great because Nanoswarm can crit, the lightning can crit, I believe that the Sandstorm can crit as well, so this is just increasing our damage by quite a bit. Before we get to the traits, I wanted to show you whenever we activate the Deathwish, it doesn't really do what it's supposed to do right now. I'm not entirely sure why. It says it negates all healing to self and drains 300% health over half a minute. But as you can see, it's barely doing anything to us, even though we do not have kinship on. So if this is a bug, then I'm sorry about that, but whenever this gets fixed or changed, you would just want to remove one of the traits that we have right now and apply kinship. What I would personally remove would be swiftness, because the rest of the traits is just crucial. So as you can see, this is how much HP we actually lost during the entire duration of the Deathwish. This is not very much at all, so I'm not entirely sure what's causing it, but if it ever gets changed, then again, remove swiftness, invest in kinship, and you should be fine. The rest of our traits are Fortify, which is basically you always have to have it. It gives us 46% of DR. And with the new consumable, which is the Leaf, the full name of it is the Sweet Leaf. It grants us 1 stack of Bulwark for 30 seconds. it buffs our resist to nearly 50%, which is absolutely fantastic. Next up we have Flashcaster, because we'll be using our skills and mods a lot, so this is actually very useful. We have Vigor, so that we have more HP, and Lifesteal only matters if you don't get one-shot. If you get one-shot, then there is no healing back from that. Then you have Spirit for mod power generation, Expertise because skill cooldowns are very important, Siphoner to give us even more Lifesteal. Then we have Leech as well to give us even more Lifesteal. Then on top of that we have the Profane Heart, which gives us innate 3% lifesteal bonus, and on use increases all lifesteal efficacy by 50%. So we can get, if we activate everything, I think about like 30 to maybe 33% lifesteal in general, because Deathwish alone gives us 10%. With the Leech trait, it gives us 15%. With activating our relic, it gives us 20%, just simply from Deathwish itself. Then we have Profane Heart, which gives us even more, especially with Leech and whenever we activate it. And then Siphoner gets buffed as well. So we have a ton of lifesteal. You don't really need to worry about it. It will be active passively, just almost all the time. No worries. And when it comes to the concoction, I personally run with the Mudtooth Tonic instead of the cooldown reduction one, simply because we will be using our mods mostly to deal damage, and we actually need HP to be able to lifesteal back some of it. So HP is king in this setup. We have 150 health, which is very good. We are at 49.9 weight, which is almost 50, so this drip is working perfectly for us. I'm so confident in this build that I haven't really even prepared any boss fights. I will just go into them live right now. We have Nightweaver queued up, so let's see how it goes against the boss. If I'm not mistaken, this is a Spiteful and Skullcracker one, so it should hit like a truck. The good thing about it is that we will be able to showcase the lifesteal effectiveness, and the other thing is that she doesn't really get any defensive bonuses, so it should be fun. Alright, hello Nightweaver, let's go. Alright, the bugs are coming out, but they are not really, because they are just getting AoE farmed. And whenever we get hit, we just heal back. We don't really care about it, and the lightning finishes her off. Let's just go right into the second phase without having to worry about anything. No ammo issues, no nothing. Let's just go. Alright, hello, where are you? We'll just leave this for you. FPS drop because everything is being broken down. The one thing that is a problematic part with this build is that the Deathwish doesn't really regain its duration whenever you recast it while it's still active. So you need to actually pay attention whenever it's about to run out. Yep, and this is the Nightweaver, one of the hardest bosses in the game with 2 phases, so she's just gone. Let's go right to the next one. Alright, now we have Tal'Ratha. Again, it should be Spiteful Skullcracker. If you are on PC and if you are not sure how to load in any boss that you'd like, I will link a guide from the Remnant 2 toolkit with all of the save files that you may need for a different affixes on all of the bosses in the game. I don't think that DLC was added yet, but it's just a matter of time before it will. So let's just go and say hello to Tal'Ratha. We don't really even need to refill our ammo from the Nightweaver fight. Let's just go raw. Let's just actually get hit, so you can see how much the lifesteal actually is working for us. Oh, this one would actually kill us, because it's absolutely terrible. But we are slowly and surely just getting rid of his HP. He has nothing to say about this, there's nothing he can do. All of the adds are just dying whenever they spawn. We can just AFK here, and we are good to go. This is the boss fight, this is the build. It's absolutely insane. Right to the next one. This is one of the easier bosses, but it spawns the most adds in the game in any boss fight, so let's see how it does. Again, we don't even need to refill our ammo, let's just go straight in. And there you go. Oh, we seem to actually have missed the sandstorm, but as you can see, it's not a problem. We will get it back very quickly. And let's just wait for the blue guy to hop in and say hello. He's just losing HP. We are just healing. There's not really much that he can do. Let's recast Nebula. He's already running away. There you go. One for the road. Everything else that's been spawning in here so far is just dying. So we don't really have to worry about any odds. We can just simply focus on the boss. As you can see, it's just mayhem all around. I am having trouble navigating. Alright, this is the boss. I forgot about the Deathwish skill, but here we go. Alright, just die. Alright. So this is the lifesteal, this is the boss. Let's just do one more for fun. Alright, so the last boss that I have prepared for you. So very rude, the Ravager. He doesn't really spawn very many adds, but the adds that he does spawn are extremely annoying and they will often kill me because I'll focus on the boss too much. Let's see how he likes this setup. Okay, you asked for it. An axe to the face, for good measure. We got hit, we just lifesteal it back at one go. Alright, these are the odds. They will not get to live very long. Yup, already dead. We are very healthy. He's just focusing on summoning more odds for whatever reason. They would just die instantly whenever they go out of their cocoon. But, well, if you want to do it, then I won't really stop you. There you go. Yeah, even more odds. That's gonna work great for you, I'm sure. Yep, already dead. And you are dead as well, my friend. Bam. Alright, so this was extremely easy. He didn't really like it one bit. He didn't get to do his tornado. He didn't get to do his howl. He was so focused on resummoning the odds that I don't really know what he was thinking, but he's dead now. I really hope that you enjoyed today's video. I had a ton of fun with this build. It's extremely powerful. It works great in any circumstances, really. You can actually use it with Invoker on level 1, because Way of Keula is the first skill that the Invoker has. It would do a little bit less damage, but it's perfectly fine just to farm and level up with this build, because it has such great AoE capabilities. You can just run this setup on Apocalypse with the Invoker on level 1, and you will be level 10 in no time. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and as always, have a great day.